What is going on, guys? Today we're finally bringing our Titanfall 2 review for you and talking about a little bit of why the game didn't sell as much, but also why it may be a really good shooter to pick up for a much lower price right now to play for a while until Destiny 2, Call of Duty Call of Duty World War 2, and Star Wars Battlefront come out, and this could be a really fun game that you can enjoy in between those and not have to drop a pretty penny on. So it's going to be mostly multiplayer focused, as I haven't finished the single player campaign because I am very busy, but I've enjoyed what I've played so far, and I definitely plan on finishing that. Maybe I'll do that this week. And I just really enjoy the multiplayer, so sometimes it's kind of hard to drag me away. So let's get into it. Multiplayer, you've got about it was 9 maps at launch, but they've added to that, so you've got about 12 maps, and they are very well designed. They have a good balance between cover and not having too much, because if you have too much cover in a multiplayer map, then everyone is kind of forced to camp and hide, and you can't really move much because someone hiding in a building or anywhere is going to shoot you. As if it's way too open, as Call of Duty kind of has, I feel like, a problem right now, then you're kind of forced to run around and sprint around like crazy all the time instead of moving tactically and using cover to your advantage. So I really enjoy that aspect of this. That's an aspect of first-person shooters that is sometimes forgotten, as people more focus on the aesthetics of a map sometimes, when they should really be looking at the how it fits the gameplay and how it's going to create fun and enjoyable game to play, and least frustrating, especially for first-person shooters. As I believe we all know, you can get very frustrated and have some rage moments while playing a first-person shooter. So those are fun every once in a while, but we should probably reduce those. We could cut down on broken controllers and everything. So yeah, that's very good. I feel like weapon balance is very good. They don't have a whole lot of weapons in compared to other titles, but they definitely have more than Titanfall 1 and a few more. And they have customization to that a little bit more with skins and such. I was really hoping that they would add more sights, as there's not really, maybe 1 or 2 slightly different sights, but I would have liked to see a couple different red dot sight variants, and maybe that is why we've seen lower sales, because there's good, you can customize with skins, but the overall gameplay customization, amount of actual weapons and sights to put on it, or like attachments to put on your weapons, are very minimal. But with that, there's always pros and cons to everything, and with that you end up with a pretty good balance where there's no one gun in the game that's way better than any of the others, or that dominates them in any way. You can be successful in all of them. Sniping is difficult still, as many games with a movement system like this, with the jumping and sliding and grappling like I was just doing, will have a more difficult time with sniping. But I think that we've all kind of gotten used to that, and I think a lot of people enjoy the balance. I would personally like it to be a little bit easier, because I do enjoy to do it every once in a while, but most of the time I am running with an assault rifle, so it's not a big problem to me. And the DMR in this game, the G2, is very good. It's actually my favorite gun. Takes like 2 to 3 shots, sometimes 4, to kill people. I really enjoyed that kill right there. So yeah, gun balance is looking pretty good. I mentioned customization and map design. We have game modes. We have a couple new game modes over Titanfall. We have Bounty Hunt, which is very interesting. You earn cash for killing grunts and titans and opponent players, and if you kill an opponent player, oh, this kill is also awesome. Titanfall has some amazing moments like that just aren't in other games right now. But back to Bounty Hunt. If you get killed, you lose half your cash, and if you kill another player, you get half of his cash. And then at a certain time during the match, like after 3 minutes of that, and having some grunts land and people to shoot, like Titans. They'll have some of those, not Titans, but they're other mechs. Whatever. They're there to shoot. You get points, you get money for it, and you try to drop it off at a bank. But then there's only like 2 or 3 bank locations, so then there's fights at the banks, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It can be kind of hard or confusing because sometimes you can't really get to a bank without time, or it's kind of hard to keep track of, oh, the killing time and earning time's over, now I need to get to the bank and stuff like that, and it can just kind of mix up the gameplay of, and you won't like see some people for a little bit, but it's really good. I really enjoy player versus player on this. I actually got Titanfall very late, and it had a low player count at that time, so there wasn't many people on player versus player, but I really enjoy that. It strikes a really good balance between Battlefield gameplay and Call of Duty gameplay, where you have slightly larger maps than Call of Duty, more places to go. You can live longer most of the time if you're not overly aggressive, because they're not so condensed and not every spot of the map is vulnerable to another in this game. Yeah, I almost said game mode there. So I really enjoy that. I feel like Titanfall, I feel like Battlefield and Call of Duty have kind of, I know they want to keep to their own games, but sometimes I'm like, when I'm playing them, I'm like, man, I just wish the maps were slightly bigger and there was slightly higher player counts on Call of Duty or Battlefield, where I'm like, this team TDM match has either too few of players for this map, or too big of map, or for Conquest where it's awesome. I love Conquest and I love Battlefield, but every once in a while you kind of want a little bit faster pace, but not quite the Call of Duty level, and so this hits that balance very well and fills that niche, whatever. I butchered that. So I really enjoyed that. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of negatives to say about Titanfall. I don't really know why the sales numbers are low, and people that kind of have videos and articles talking about it, I don't really, like, I get their reasons, but I don't know, they're just kind of lame. Some of them are like, well, Titanfall 1 was an Xbox exclusive, so it's not as well known, or wasn't advertised, but I saw a Titanfall 2 advertisement. Like, if you are in games enough, you know it's coming out, or that people were so disappointed with Titanfall 1 that they gave up on Titanfall 2 because there wasn't as much customization. It's like Titanfall 1 was also liked pretty well. I know it got some low reviews, but it also got high reviews, and most people talked positively about it. Same with this game. So I really don't understand. I don't think anyone totally understands why this game hasn't sold as much. The best, most legit reason would be that it was released when Battlefield was released, and Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with the Modern Warfare Remastered, and that they had a lot of competition at the time. So people had to choose between one or the other. That's probably the best reason besides this. But I do experience, as much as I hype up the game, I still play Call of Duty and Battlefield more, even though I could probably tell you that this game is maybe better, at least has better, more balanced gameplay in certain ways. And so there's just a little something missing that doesn't hook you right away. Maybe it's the customization, maybe some of the game modes are more like fun, but it's not quite as like intense. I don't know, I don't really think that. I wonder if it's like the aesthetics, like this map right here, while it plays very nice, and a lot of them do, some of them just have a lot of grays, and like you see that in both maps, and maybe people, it just makes the game feel more boring. I know people care about aesthetics, and I try not to too much. I want my game to look good and, you know, run 60 frames per second and everything, but I'm not totally like, oh, the colors have to be bright and shiny. But this is a little lacking, so maybe that's an issue. I'm not really sure. If you know better, leave a comment down below or have an idea, because right now I think the whole gaming industry is a little lost of why Titanfall didn't sell more. And this map right here can show you that not all maps are aesthetically not pleasing. The colors are very nice here. Map design's still nice. You have good gameplay down below for close quarters. You have wide open up top, and then you got the spawns that mostly stay on the two sides. You don't get spawn killed a lot, or you do get, there's a little bit of spawn trap, but you don't get shot in the back as much, and that's what I enjoy. So yeah, overall I would get Titanfall an 8 out of 10 probably. It is, yeah, an 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna drop this. 7's too low. The game's a lot of fun. I totally think you should go pick it up. On Amazon, like, it has 4.5-star reviews, so everyone likes it, or most people like it, but for some reason it just didn't sell as much. But maybe it can now. Now it's a lot cheaper. They have a new DLC coming out, so that can be a lot of fun. So I would totally suggest to go pick this up at a lower price point to have a lot of fun until the new first-person shooters come out. So I hope you guys all have a great day.